It's Super Series bowls at Tweed Heads, and it's singles action in the first test between Australia and Scotland. Welcome everyone to this wonderful complex at the Tweed Heads Club for the second of 9 games between two of the world powers in the game of bowls. In our singles match today, it's the young New South Welshman Brett Duprez playing a very important game for him against a former Scottish and British Isles junior champion in David Peacock. Ian Schuback is with me, and with the Australians one up, what's going to happen next?
Well, Scotland need to win, don't they, Steve? Really, David Peacock, he's had 10 years' experience playing for Scotland. He's also won the Scottish indoor singles many years ago. Unfortunately, this is David's only second appearance in Australia. Pressure will be on him.
And Brett is really trying to consolidate his place at this level, so an important game for him.
Good opportunity for Brett, really. He's won the New South Wales state singles. He's also won the Golden Nugget singles here at Tweed Heads on the outdoor greens. He's a very experienced singles player. Good opportunity in this match today for young Brett Duprez.
Joining Ian in commentary for this match will be Quentin Hull.
Thanks, Steve. The marker for our singles, a great of Australian bowls, Rob Perella. The action underway. David Peacock taking on Brett Duprez. Very important match for Scotland, having been beaten in the pairs. That being said, pressure on this young man to try and consolidate for the home country. Handy start. What are you expecting, Ian Schuback?
Maximum length, Quentin. David Peacock has decided to roll a maximum length jack, 33 metres opening end. Brave call. Like, it's really a brave tactic first end of the match. Brett Duprez, very unusual position on the mat. Have a look, 1 foot off the mat, 1 on. Really does get on the inside of the mat with his backhand, quite different on his forehand side, Brett Duprez. He's really been in and out of the Australian side in the last 6 years, Duprez. I actually felt Quentin...
Pardon, my last one shot, please, Rob.
17 inches.
When Brett Duprez won the Golden Nugget singles here at Tweed Heads on the outdoor greens 5 or 6 years ago, he looked like an emerging Australian singles player. It wasn't to be, or it hasn't been at this stage, and it's a good opportunity for Duprez to prove to the Australian selectors how good he is at singles. Excellent bowl from Peacock.
It's a very positive start.
1/4 of an inch, mate.
And my back bowl
Just getting the nice little kiss off
six.
the Duprez bowl to then kiss the jack.
First set will give an indication. See now Brett playing his forehand. Both feet are on the mat. He does angle out to his line, whereas the feet point directly up the line when he plays backhand. So, this is a nervous forehand bowl.
Needs a bit of luck. That's going to even be too narrow for that. So early pressure on the Australian. David Peacock. Early confident stride down the green. Yes, the eyes do tell a bit of a story.
Works in computer graphics. David Peacock lives just outside Edinburgh.
Bit shaky. So, 1 bowl to play, and Duprez he can get one good one here, we'll get out of jail.
There's only one down, that's the good news, Quentin. He will play weight, Brett, on the forehand, tight line, looking for an outside edge of the shot bowl. Any movement of the jack would be to this direction, would favour Duprez.
And now concern on the face of Peacock. He realises that the opportunity is there for the Australian.
He should be safe. First end of the match. Hard shot for Brett, maximum length.
Well, missing on both accounts. Straight through the hole. So, one to Scotland. Rob Perella indicates with the blue disc. David Peacock in the lead. So the start of the fifth end, and a lot of work for that man to do. David Peacock, can he put one close just to get some confidence up? Really has struggled after winning the first end. That looks a little better. Still not what he would have hoped for.
Now the first bowl in singles, the all-important bowl, just to establish an advantage over your opponent. And on an indoor carpet, you would expect these players to be inside 18 inches or 40 or 50 centimetres from the jack.
Steely gaze of Duprez. It looks like he's really in the zone, and there's another example. Trying to make every post a winner. That's better, but won't count.
Really going at right angles to the jack. Heavily biased bowl David Peacock is playing with. Brett playing with a size 4 heavyweight, and don't turn quite as sharp. Look at that effective rate. Terrific bowling from Duprez, 78%, but David Peacock, you would be expecting well over 50%. He's only at 35% effective, and that is being reflected on the scoreboard. Oh, real wobble there.
We're just back to those effectives. I mean, it's basically one each end, 1.5 maybe from the Scot, which is an effective bowl, but 3 out of the 4 from the Australian. And as you mentioned, being reflected on the score, and there's Peacock promoting the Australian's bowl.
It only takes one good bowl on each end to score, but Brett...
My bowl on this side, Rob. How far short is that one, please,
1
mate?
foot short of the jack.
Foot. Thanks.
Brett is really piling them in close to the jack, so he's always have an opportunity to score multiple counts. Well, in fact, he has not scored one single in the match. 2 threes and a double. Only conceded a single shot on the first end.
Well, missing with weight and width on that occasion, but some security, and still holding 2. What's he going to do,
Well,
Shuey?
he needs the shot to turn this first set around, Quentin, very quickly. Maybe better to have a full-blooded drive. I think the best result would actually be an inside edge on that Duprez bowl, come off and take this one out. Plan B, I think he will run right down the line for the jack. He does need the shot. He's already 2 down. Too difficult to play 1 metre overweight. So firm weight. And
Doesn't like it at all.
He's back, David Peacock.
It's a very erratic display. And Duprez now has another opportunity. Scratch of the earlobe there.
It's a lonely game, singles. Has won the Scottish indoor singles, one of the toughest titles in the world to win. Brilliant singles players in Scotland. So David did win that 7 or 8 years ago. Also won the Hong Kong Classic Singles 2002. It's on a very slow outdoor green.
Chance for 3. The final bowl of the 5th end. Relentless. Well done. That's 3 to Australia. And he'll be happy with that, Brett Duprez. Rob Perella confirms 3 shining green and yellow discs, 11-1, all Australia in the first set.
Scottish manager Bobby Dick, his concerned look.
But sets play, you've got the great opportunity of forgetting the first set and then starting again.
David Peacock, Quentin, he'll need to forget this first set, 11-1 down. It's very easy from the bank and the commentary box, of course, but that's a better start, switching to his backhand.
That's what we want.
So that's a good tactical
3
move.
inches.
Thanks, mate.
Very good tactical move from Peacock. Started off playing the forehand in this direction, switching to the slower, wider side of the rink. Amazing how on carpet one side can be quicker than the other, but it's the fact the right-hand side is slower and takes a much wider line.
A little too much weight there from Duprez.
See that gentle angle, the finish of the bowl on that forehand, whereas when this bowl comes to rest, as it's slowing down, there's a real prodigious sharp turn on the bias on this backhand.
It comes zeroing in here.
It's a shame. David would have been trying for 30 centimetres behind the jack. Teammates pondering.
Of course, Australia 1 up in this first test match. 3 tests here at the Tweed Heads Bowls Club on the Gold Coast. Australia winning the pairs in this, the opening test.
Pass my last ball shot, please, Rob.
A 2'6", David.
And just see what a little bit of pressure can do. David Peacock nailed the jack with his opening bowl. Brett has been playing absolutely brilliant bowls, but when his opponent has put one right on top of the jack, Brett's 2 bowls, 1.5 meters overweight. Peacock holding 3.
Well, Duprez with 2 to play. We dare say a full count here to Scotland gives them half a chance.
I would expect Brett to correct with this bowl. He's just too good a player, Brett Duprez.
Has he got the weight?
Get up. Whoops.
Just a little short, but
How many is that, Rob, please?
good question. How many?
Oh.
Only 2.
David Peacock has learnt something in this direction at least. He's drawing better on the backhand side. So even if David does not win this set,
Medal count.
this tactic will help him in the second.
So 3 to Scotland.
Kelvin Kerkow and manager Robbie Dobbins on the left. Might see a full-blooded drive here for Brett. You've got to ask yourself, what happens if I take my only bowl out? Well, Brett will only be 1 worse off. He's now 3 down. He does have a very powerful drive. He's got 2 bowls at the back of the rink. Safer option just to improve on his last delivery.
Shaping to draw.
Well, he's playing controlled weight, looking to come underneath his own bowl. Shot bowl onto the jack. He's got it.
Well played. Another psychological blow for Duprez. He is running away with his first set. Perfect contact. Into the ditch. 2 to Australia. 13-1 after 6 ends. So 4 ends to play.
Brett has given the mat away under the new World Bowls Board rules. Players winning an end now can elect to take the mat and roll the jack or give it away.
It was an interesting tactic. Why would he do it at this point in such control of the set?
Well, that's a fair comment too, Quentin, because Brett has been distracted by a conversation on the side. He's walked over and a glare at one of the officials. Don't know why.
Keep talking, boys.
Straw on the shot. Well, Paul
Last ball,
Kerkow
Jack
on the
Rob.
right there.
Jack high.
Detention.
Head of the umpires panel here at Tweed.
Get the old socks out. You're shining up the bowls for the next day's play.
Yes, this change of tactic, Brett actually giving the mat away, has allowed David an opportunity to try his drawing skills on a short end. Both players would realise that Brett has got an unbeatable lead, 13-1, and playing well. So it's an opportunity for David to just find his range on these shorter length jacks, preparing already, I would imagine, for the second set.
So 1 to Australia. Peacock quickly onto the backhand. Fairly congested. Can he find a way through, or a promotion of his own bowl? Was always going to struggle to get Jack high and draw, but nearly promoted his own bowl, but missing it all. Why not have a go down 13-1? That glare from Duprez has hardly moved the whole first set. Crowd's enjoying it. Important for the young Australian. There it is, clench of the teeth to continue with this concentration, Shuey, because he doesn't want to tamper with his form, does he?
No, but I think sometimes Brett, he tries too hard. Actually, on the effective rate, he's dropped back considerably. Brett, 67%, he was up near 80% early. 35 to 46, that's an improvement for Peacock.
It's almost like the Terminator with those eyes.
That is a very defensive attempt when you are 2 or 1 down. Rob Perella indicates, in his opinion, and is 1 to Duprez. So if Brett took this 1, he'd be 13 shots up with 3 ends remaining. Only 12 possible shots left after this end. So already Brett Duprez, he does not have to play this bowl. Players will play the 10 ends out in this opening set. Conditions of play. That's a good opportunity for David Peacock just to experiment a few different shots.
Is there more salt about to go into this Scottish wound?
Brett knows the position of the match. He's keeping well away.
Take that one. Yep. 1.
One's the call. And one's the total score of Scotland. Australia has 14. But you sense, Shuey, that we have had a bit of a momentum swing. This first couple of ends of the second set will be very important.
Well, the last 2 ends, the scoreboard reads Peacock 6, Duprez 0.
Second set, David Peacock down a set, his team down a match, having been beaten in the pairs. So win this set or the first test is gone for Scotland. It's as simple as that.
And really, this first bowl has been his downfall, David. He's dropping that first bowl a metre short on a consistent basis, and that's just not good enough. team gold in South Africa, World Bowls, Brett Duprez. He's playing lead in the pairs in the forthcoming World Championships, Brett, leading for Kevin Walsh, the Marylands Club in Sydney, and also playing lead in the fours. Michael Wilkes from Victoria, skipping the Australian fours side.
3.
How many times do you go to Hong Kong playing those classic singles, Shuey?
Quite a few times, Quentin, and it's one of the international tournaments that every player, every top player in the world wants to play. The really Hong Kong Association look after the players, and it's a great experience to play on tricky conditions. As Peacock correcting well. And David Peacock has won that Hong Kong singles tournament, and it's a tough event to win. Very similar to the Scottish greens in Hong Kong, a slow, uneven. Early pressure, second set.
First shot's the last ball, please, Rob.
About 2 feet.
It's been a good little period for David Peacock.
Safer on the forehand for David. His own bowl coming in on the forehand side.
And look at the body language, looks much better now.
He needs more of this, but he also needs a little luck to miss Duprez's short bowl.
It's inside it, just enough to save damage.
Fell against the bias, which was a handy result. 2 to Scotland. Must look terrible from Brett's end. He's going out to the side. He would not be able to see the jack. Well, that's looking from the mat end up above, and it's not a pretty sight for Brett Duprez. He will have last bowl on this end.
Doesn't want to rely on it, though. Wants to do something with this delivery. Too heavy, is it? Yep, sliding on by. So 2 to Scotland. And a bowl each to play. What's the tactic, Shuey?
Well, does not want to broaden the target. 2 is good. Well, the shot bowl has just fallen over. David's still yet to decide. Now he's made up his mind. He's 2 shots on. He could play a conservative line to there, would be a good result, or maybe safer to come around here. Does not want to put a bowl there. Brett will drive. So at the moment, not a big target for Brett Duprez to drive at. Peacock needs to cover the back and hopefully count. But if he fails, he should fail long, not short.
It's turning quickly.
Oh, well, that's 3 shots, but Brett Duprez does have a very powerful drive, and that has just made up his mind. That bowl coming in, Rob Perella there indicating 3 blue lollipops belonging to Scotland, and those 3 counters are very, very close together. One swoop, the whole 3 could be removed. Brett Duprez theoretically could go from 3 down to 3 up with a solid strike.
And this, the last bowl of the opening end of the second set, so a telling bowl right here. He's missed it. So in the end, it is a very good start to Scotland to start the second set, having been thumped in the first set. But that's a much better sight for Scottish fans. 3 up after the opening end of the second set. 4 ends to play in the second set. David Peacock in front. And a handy opener. Our marker, Rob Perella, would have been delighted to see the changing fortunes of this contest. It's been an interesting one, hasn't it, Rob?
Yes, I suggested that the second set, David would have had to improve his game, and he has. So it's a really good contest, the second set. So anyone's set yet.
Do you get a feeling out there on the rink, Rob, which player is maybe suffering or looking the best?
I think Brett is looking the best. I'm sure of that.
That shot.
David is still feeling it, but he's improving a hell of a lot since the first set.
Yeah, the first bowl, hasn't it, Rob, has been much more effective for David.
That's very important in singles, as you know, sure. It's first bowl that counts.
And if it falls, looks like it's shot. Yes.
Both players, Rob, persisting with the long length jacks.
Well, David wasn't handling it too well, but he's played his couple of short hands and he's got the weight now and he can play it any length, I feel.
Get that chalk out, Robbie.
So you're suggesting if you had to put your money on a play, you'd be on
What's
Brett
the position, please, Rob?
Rob's.
Who eyes his shot?
One shot.
Rob's got time to
The
have
last ball, Jack Kai.
Last bowl behind Jack. A bowl behind.
time to have a bet and give the answer there, Rob. So your money's still on Brett Duprez, Robbie.
Yes, my money's still on Brett, mate.
Terrific head of bowls.
Peacock keen to get it in there.
Oh, amazing. Brett.
Good enough for two, Robbie.
Good enough for two.
Might see a full-blooded drive here, Rob. 3 bowls could go, or Jack into the ditch, maybe.
Jack in the ditch is the best, yes. It's a nice little target.
He's got one to play after this, Duprez.
When you're driving, you should always drive away from your own bowls, and that's what Duprez is doing. Backhand, with weight. He looks wide.
And stays wide.
That hand has been playing wide all morning, Sherry, if you've noticed. With weight.
Yes, it was the type of head, if you missed, you really had to miss narrow toward the bowls.
Yeah, sure. You won't make a mistake next one.
So what do you think David Peacock will try here, Rob?
Well, he should go for cover.
Back of the rink?
Right at the back, yes.
Bit of insurance. 2 up and leading 6-3 in
Rob,
the second set.
If anybody played a shot that you just predicted, then you would drive the 3 blue disc bowls clean out and the Jack wouldn't even move.
I used to.
That's the thought process that goes through the minds of the top players. And Peacock has taken the advice of Rob Perella. He's run for cover. Now, Brett Duprez. Those 3 Scottish bowls are all in a line. Brett's having a good look. It's been a little wayward, but one solid contact on that bowl. These 2 bowls may also be removed from the rink. Duprez could go from 2 down to 2 up.
Well, again, a vital drive for Brett Duprez. He hasn't been good so far in this contest. In this situation, can he improve? Well, he's made the desired contact, but what's the final result? Looks like he saved just the one.
Wise choice for Peacock to go behind. His back bowl ends up the shot.
1 blue lollipop. Scotland now a full count in front with only 3 ends to play in the second set. 7-3. 3 to play. Tie break looking likely.
Yes, after 8 ends in the first set. Look there, it's 7-3. 3 ends in a row to Peacock. That is significant. But after 8 ends in the first set, he was down 15-1. Peacock. Now, in the last 9 ends in total, the last 2 ends of the first set and the first 7 ends now, the aggregate score is 13-3 in favour of Peacock. Really, it would only have to win 1 of the remaining 3 ends to force this match to a tiebreaker. Our marker, Rob Perella, he's ringside. He believes Duprez is still looking composed and a winner. Luck is not going with Brett at the moment.
Few eyes, please, Rob.
Pardon?
Few eyes. Far past them, please.
Better bowl.
Good quick reply. That's what the players like.
And well played. He certainly is looking like a winner at the moment, David Peacock. How amazing is this game?
15-1 down, and it was almost his worst nightmare come true, David Peacock. He's looking for somewhere to hide. The back of the grandstand now. Brett Duprez, concerned look.
Just not getting the width right.
He's just finding the gaps and slicing jacks instead of swallowing it.
What's the position of this ball here, please, Rob?
Just the bowl short of Jack High.
How far's Brett's last ball through, please?
This one?
Yep.
About 2 feet, 2'3".
Danger is bottom left. Peacock may cover now. There's two ways of covering. You can either play the open hand and try and place a bowl 60 centimetres behind on the wide side, or draw a toucher right onto the jack. Take the shot away.
It'll dip in fiercely, but not fiercely enough.
Well, that's finished in a very good receptive position for David
The one down,
Peacock.
Rob, or 2 or 3 or...
I favour you one down, very close.
Thanks, mate.
2.
Now, this is where Brett Duprez needs to play with a positive frame of mind. If he's thinking negative, he will run the risk of slicing the jack down the line. He could end up 3 down with an unlucky... Now, there's the effective rate, 66%, both players. Man, he's a long way narrow.
Looking for a touch on his own, but misses that even.
Really, the pressure starting to tell on Brett Duprez. David Peacock, he will not have any idea where to play this 4th bowl.
But as you say, Ian, he is up a full count, and even if he wins this end, that would be some good insurance.
It's 1 and a measure. This bowl could be second shot. So David may be better off to come around, split the 2 bowls here, and hope that if Brett attacks, he might take his own bowl out. The head looks good for Peacock.
Coming to the forehand, and it looks like that area you indicated, Shuey, will be the target area.
Well, he does not have enough weight to go behind the jack. Oh, maybe a knock-inable. A nervous forehand draw, 1 metre short. Yeah, he's not happy.
Well, are we going to see Duprez have to play another forcing bowl with the last bowl of the end?
Well, I think he needs to really attack mentally, more so than weight. He needs to go there, positive frame of mind, rest that bowl out for 2, or bowl and jack across here, 2 or 3 shots on offer. Brett Duprez would make this shot in practice 75, 80% of the time. Can he do it? He's under pressure.
Down 4 shots. Last bowl of the 8th end of the 2nd set. Whispering to himself wide. And that's the way it ended up, but 1 to Scotland. So now an 8-3 lead, 2 ends to play. Looks like we're headed for a tie break. 2 ends to play. That's if Brett Duprez can get a couple of shots on this end. Should Peacock win it, we'll go straight to the tie break.
Well, Brett Duprez only has to tie the 2nd set after winning the 1st. The winning tactic, short with your 1st. Struggled a little bit in there. Look at that big sigh from Peacock. So Brett would be thinking 5 shots in 2 ends. 2 or 3 on this end, draw level on the last, and shake hands.
And that's a wonderful way to start.
Number 1 ranked player in the world, Alex Marshall, looks on.
It's a concerned look from Peacock.
He's starting to spray them.
Oh, well, that's a massive overcorrection.
Overcorrection, and Brett Duprez will be saying, well, Willie Wood, one of the true legends of the sport. Willie Wood, gold medalist in the 1982 Commonwealth Games in the singles in Brisbane. Brett needs to keep the pressure on, draw a close second shot.
Looking good. Oh, wonderful. And covering up the jack.
As far as my last ball through, please, Rob.
At 3'6".
The sight must look very ugly for David Peacock from the mat end. Duprez, both bowls, perfect line. One in front, one behind the jack.
And not arriving. How do I get through that? Thinks David Peacock.
Brett Duprez, he cannot believe his luck. There's really no luck to this point. He's nailed the jack with the first bowl, blocked the drive with the second, drawing for 3. May end up 1 shot behind at the end of this 9th end. That is 3 shots. He's not happy, Duprez. He sat that bowl jack high. Will provide a visual guide for Peacock, but there is a gap.
Well, now really telling bowl.
Brett will be praying that Peacock trips over on the mat as he lets this bowl go, and it wobbles out of his hand.
Down 3, but leading by 5. Penultimate end of the second set. It's in the pipe. Yes.
Brilliant pressure bowl, David Peacock. 3 down. He won't mind if he's 1 down, but Rob Perella, the marker's indicating 1 blue.
Needed it.
Sigh of relief.
Now, what can Brett Duprez do? Is there any way he can get rid of that blue bowl?
Well, I doubt it very much. He really cannot play this hand, Quentin. He'll have to somehow draw on the forehand. 2 shots is the best possible result for Brett on this end. 1 is not enough. He would need a maximum count to tie, and he has not scored a full count in the entire match, so he needs 2 shots on this end.
Now, Brett Duprez doing his own commentary, and we concur. So 1-2 Scotland, and that will be enough to take us directly into the tie-break. What a comeback from David Peacock. I think we're finally ready. Tie-break underway. Scotland needing to win it to keep the first test alive. Momentum with David Peacock.
Well, Peacock has turned his back and had a chat to Brett. I'm not sure whether that's the right type of body language.
Do whatever you want if you're putting it there. Well, just sliding a little bit past for his liking.
That is not the end winner. Remembering shots do not count in the tiebreaker. First player to win 2 ends will win the match.
Very similar bowl from Duprez.
How far past, please, Rob?
2 feet, David.
Perfect line from both players.
How's the correction from the Scot?
He has been overcorrecting at times throughout the match, David Peacock.
And continues to, Shuey.
Well, that is a very poor bowl from David. And nobody here would be more disappointed than David Peacock himself, as the Scottish contingent agree that well, only takes one bowl. Peacock has 2 to play.
Duprez trying to correct from his forehand side. Well, he's got better weight. And shot. Still that Jack very available. The Australian team know it. David Peacock knows it. He's switching hands.
A little sprint off the mat. A lot of body weight going through that forehand delivery. He's got a spring in the step. Peacock. Looking good.
Yes, it's shot.
Yes, please, Rob.
About 9 inches.
And my back one?
Yours, about 11. 11?
Thank you.
Duprez with 2 to play. Peacock with 1.
Has 9 inches of room, according to Rob Perella. Bowls still use imperial measurements. 9 inches, plenty of room. It's a couple of bowls width, almost. So Brett looking heavy. Would need the jack.
And missing it. Well, there's 1 bowl apiece for both bowlers. First end of the tie break. Shots don't count.
Must be very careful here not to put the bowls together, the shot bowl and this bowl. Very close contest now. Both players in the 60% area. Peacock will be hoping this bowl finishes on the line. Oh, that has maybe taken the drive shot out of, on the forehand drive. It's out of the mind. He's driving.
If first you don't succeed. Try and try again for Brett Duprez.
Edge!
Persistence pays off. He's finally got a drive. Coming up with the result he's after. First end of the tiebreak to Australia. Oh, he likes it.
A young fella.
Do you reckon Alex Marshall's concerned?
Well, David Peacock, when he paid a very heavy price for failing with his last bowl in that first end of the tiebreaker, if he draws a second shot behind the jack, Duprez must draw. By dropping short, he's allowed Duprez the drive. Doesn't worry Peacock, he's bounced back with a resting, well, a front toucher falling centimetres short of the jack. Perfect opening bowl, directly in front of the jack and a toucher.
Scotland needing to win this end to keep the test match alive. Went down in the pairs. The triples to come, but victory to Duprez will seal it in 2 matches. The confidence is flowing through the veins, but just not arriving close enough to Rez shot there.
That's a good plant on.
1.5 inches, David.
Steve
How
Glassing.
far's Brett's ball off of mine, please?
Direct on the jack.
How far is Brett's ball from my ball?
About 1 inch.
That's the gap. The reason David is asking that question, he knows the plant is on. And it will miss the jack. So Brett has a great opportunity to convert, and no shot clock operates in the tie break. So both players wisely coming down for a closer inspection.
Wobbly out of the hand.
Now it needs to pass the jack. That's okay. Second close bowl.
So 1 to Scotland.
No time for Brett to build the head. I think he may go for the conversion shot early. He's won the first end. He was originally looking at weight here for the plant out, clean out. Now I think he may play forehand firm, looking for the gap, but it's probably not wide enough. Edge of that onto the other. So it's a perfect head to actually play a conversion shot on. 2 or 3 chances. Playing the difficult weight. Will swing narrow.
That's not going to be what he was after.
A lot easier to go quick on this swooping forehand side. But the good news, the bowl is just on the edge of the bank. It's still alive. It could end up the match winner.
Purse of the lips. Now the pressure back on Peacock. Wants another look at the head. No shot clock in the tie break.
I don't think Peacock will run for cover. I don't think he needs to change the head, Quentin. I think weight here, turn that bowl onto the jack, would be the best possible result. Brett Duprez would make this conversion shot 9 times out of 10. He still has 2 bullets left in the gun. And Peacock playing the conservative tactic, saying, well, I'm holding the end. Let's see if you can get out of it. And I'm sure, well, I'm not sure, but I would almost put money that Brett will get out of this end. It's too big a target. Reasonable position. A metre and a little behind. We might see a lot more weight here from Brett. Looking at removing the 2 Scottish bowls near the jack. You actually go for the gap mentally.
And he has the relaxing thought that he's got 1 left after this one.
That will be the last bowl at the end, so he'll play more weight. He's narrow, he'll need luck.
Maybe off his own bowl. Well, it was flush with his own bowl.
Well, that is the worst possible result, but 1 to play. Good news for Brett, he knows he, at the worst case scenario, he's going to the 3rd end of the tiebreaker. He can win it on this end. Just narrow, unfortunately, both Scottish bowls remain.
The Australians, I don't think they know as yet who's going to get out of this one.
Well, what does David... He cannot cover that bowl. He could maybe come around here and try and put a bowl close to the ditch. These 2 shot bowls can be removed. It might be better to draw a 3rd shot for safety and hope that the jack does not move. He knows, Peacock, that Brett Duprez will play exactly the same type of shot with his last bowl.
This could be the last bowl of the match from David Peacock.
Looks like he's trying to go at the back of the rink.
He's put it into the ditch, has he? Oh, gee, that is a real wasted opportunity.
Well, Brett may have a full-blooded drive now, but he was so close with his previous bowl. The forehand, firm-weighted shot. He will run for the gap, try to remove both bowls. Any movement of the jack must be to Brett's advantage. Jack into the ditch, Duprez wins the match.
David Peacock wondering whether or not he'll get another chance to step onto the mat, because a good bowl from Brett Duprez and the test match is Australia's. This seesawing contest could be decided right here. The drive worked last time. He's missed it. We'll go the distance. Oh, David Peacock gets out of a little hole there. Brett Duprez not making him pay. And you're going to bowl first, my friend.
Peacock wants last bowl on the last end.
Well, probably a fitting way to end this match. We've seen it seesaw so much. One each. Now, the winner of this end will be the winner of the match. At one point, Duprez led 15-1 in the first set. Scotland dominant in the second set, but having to come from behind in the tie-break. Alex Marshall can't stand it. Willie Wood's pretty cool, though. He's done it all before.
Greatest bowler ever come out of Scotland, Willie Wood. One good bowl from either player.
And it will be Duprez to fire off first.
Peacock wiping the sweat away. Maximum length, 33 metres.
Well, you give the mat away and you give the chance for your opponent to really put the pressure on early. I don't think that's going to be good enough. That's not the match winner, but that's always the danger, isn't it, Shuey? It looks like the tactics work from Peacock.
Yes, you just hope that your opponent fails when you hand the mat away, and that's not really failing. It's half a metre away. But as you said, Quentin, the match winner has not been played yet. This looks also heavy.
The match winner has still not been played. Six
How far past them, please,
balls
Rob?
left.
That's 17 inches.
Thanks, mate.
Many times in an occasion like this, both players can get very nervous that sometimes the match winner can be a couple of feet away from the jack.
How's the correction from Duprez? Forehand again. The eyes look a little concerned. It's shot. Ball's the right way for the Australian.
My ball fast, please, Rob.
Yours about 2 foot 2, mate.
The last ball played.
Last bowl, just a foot.
Well, interesting. Duprez trying to draw twice on the forehand. Once was too long, then tried to correct. Same for Peacock. The backhand opener was too long. 2 feet to correct.
And looking pretty good. He likes it. He's got a spring in the step, Peacock.
And it's shot.
How far short, please, mate?
About 8 to 9 inches, mate.
Thanks.
Well, Brett Duprez would be just hoping he could draw the match winner with this bowl, not his last. Peacock will have last bowl. He may not even play it if he's holding shot. Looking heavy. Pressure.
Well, Duprez now has only one to play, and Scotland is holding match. And concern now, Steve Glasson sitting at the back.
Best result now for Peacock. Obviously, nail the jack would be terrific, but just behind and fall over directly behind the jack. Take the drive shot out of the equation. Needs one. Draw an extra for safety. Scottish camp praying. Whoa. Peacock distracted. Always good not to go through with your delivery.
Just waiting for a patron to take their seat. And that is not the time that you want to be distracted at all.
A lot of players are superstitious. Peacock put that bowl down. He picked up the other one.
Well, he's playing to keep his country in this test match. Holding match. His penultimate bowl, perhaps. In saying perhaps, if Duprez doesn't draw now, it is all over.
Well, does Duprez drive? The drive shot's on. He may drive here, Duprez. I think tactically tactically, I think it is a draw shot because Peacock still has one to play. Really, Brett should be good enough to draw there, but he may think it's easier to hit that bowl and take this shot bowl clean off and say to his opponent, Peacock, I don't think you can draw another one. He's driving.
Another drive. Steve Glasson watches intently as his teammate Brett Duprez needs to take shot here or the match is over. He doesn't like it. Scotland is in the test match still. Well played, David Peacock. What a turnaround from the Scot. He was down 15-1 in the first set, but has got out of the hole to win the second set and the tie-break. Well done, Scotland and David Peacock.
Well, 15-1 down in the first set. David probably just wanted to get on a plane. Now, what was going wrong there, David?
Just Brett played superb the first 5-6 ends of the first set, but I just had to keep on digging in. And with the first set, new rules, we're playing 10 ends. I said to myself, just throw the jack and try and get a length that you can get and hopefully start getting in. And I did manage to get 2 threes the last 2 sets, maybe to give myself a wee bit of a momentum for the second set.
Were you struggling with the pace of the rink? What was the issue?
I think we practiced all day yesterday, and it's so much different playing under the lights and the big crowd. It really is warm, and it does fasten. The green is certainly faster from yesterday.
I think a crucial moment in the second set was when you were 8-3 up. It could have been 8-6, but it ended up being 9-3. It was a big moment for you.
8-3, 3 against with 1 ball left, and Brett also had a ball, so I was quite happy getting second shot, but managing to get the shot and stole the set, so it was, I was relieved anyway.
And how's your temperament come a tie-break? Were you okay?
There was a wee bit of a mix-up to start with the first end. People didn't realise that the second set was over, so I just had to try and nail it with my first one. And I certainly did that at the second end anyway.
It was a fine comeback. Well done, David.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you very much.
The next game in the first test will be the triples, with Australia's Brett Duprez, Kerkow and Steve Glasson taking on the Scottish trio of George Sneddon, Alex Marshall and David Peacock. I'm Quentin Hull on behalf of Ian Schuback and Steve Rebillard. It's goodbye from the Tweed Heads Bowls Club.
Coming soon to ABC.
I have to know the truth, monsieur.
And if the truth is not what you wish to hear?
A most compelling series of telemovies, starting with Death on the Nile.
Truth has the habit of revealing itself.
Lovely, isn't she? Sometimes I wish I'd never met her.
Starring David Suchet with an outstanding supporting cast.
It is surprising, is it not, how soon in life the die is cast.
Poirot, coming soon to ABC.
Welcome again to Super Series Bowls and our host club on the Gold Coast, Tweed Heads. We're 4 games into this 9-match, 3-test series between Australia and Scotland, and it's very interestingly poised. Australia won the first test 2-1, but predictably, Scotland have hit back at the start of the second test, winning the pairs in straight sets. Singles today, let's see who's playing. For Australia, Queenslander Kelvin Kerkow, who's been playing well in the series so far. He's had wins in the first test pairs and triples. His opponent is George Sneddon. He's the current Commonwealth Games and World Outdoor Pairs champion. Reputations aside, though, Ian Schuback, Kelvin is probably in slightly the better form.
He's had a great series to date. He's also a very good indoor player here at Tweed Heads, as well as the World Indoor Pairs and 2 Welsh Indoor Masters titles.
In the context of the series, this is a vital one for the Scots to win.
It is. George Sneddon, he's struggled, he's improving, and really Scotland do need to win this match today.
Bobby Mullins from the Tweed Heads Club, current indoor pairs champion here, I believe.
and with our statistician, Peter Craven. But we're focusing on singles action, and George Sneddon, really something of a pairs specialist. So how will he go adapting to what's required here against Kelvin Kerkow? Go back far enough in George's career, though, you don't have too much trouble finding singles success. Won the Scottish singles outdoors, 1991.
He's also had a victory 12 months ago, Steve, in the first test singles against, guess who? Kelvin Kerkow. Much better player with 4 bowls, George Sneddon.
There'll be enormous pressure on Scotland if they don't win this match, because it would mean that the triples could spell the series for them. If they go to the triples in this second test, 1 apiece, with Australia having won the first test, that's the kind of pressure they wouldn't want to put on themselves.
Rise the shot bowl off the jack, please, Bob.
About 4 inches.
Kelvin Kerkow going into this match expecting to win. Does get a little superstitious at times, Kel, if things are not going right. He's a strange character to play against, George. You never know his body language. Good attempt from Kerkow. He doesn't always look confident, George, but he has that uncanny knack of being able to draw close to the jack with it. The odd bowl, not every bowl. For 2 wayward bowls and 1 right behind Kerkow, 1 down.
And one thinks with the experience at the top level that George has behind him, he's not going to be fazed by the occasion here. Still holding the 1, George Sneddon. First end.
Contrasting styles here too, Steve. Kerkow loves to attack. Has a very fast drive, whereas George Sneddon is predominantly a lead. He just likes to stick to the draw wherever possible.
So 2 10-end sets, with the possibility of a 3-end tiebreak if it's required. And in singles play, the shot clock doesn't operate on their last ball. Now, is that shot? Certainly looks like it. Robbie Mullen steps in, firstly, to chalk that touch-up.
Last ball, that's it.
Yep, that was the last ball, and that is 1 to Australia. Just confirm. We don't want to jump the gun there, but as we thought, as we saw, and 1 to Kerkow in the first end. George Sneddon has the mat back, and he's rolled a metre or 2 longer than previous end, Shuey.
Medium length end this time, Steve. He's just mixing it up a little. Good tactic. Just not allowing Kerkow to settle down into a drawing rhythm over the consistent length. Better opening bowl from Sneddon. 27 metres. The jack away from the mat.
So Sneddon obviously then opting to keep the mat.
Yeah, he wants the short end, Steve.
Still Scotland. May not look like it from our camera position behind. I wonder if Kerkow across the match, Shuey, is better served trying to have last bowl, because with George being predominantly a lead, wouldn't play as many conversion shots as Kelvin might be used to.
Well, what's Kelvin's hoping for, Steve, is if George only gets one of his 4 bowls close, Kerkow has the last bowl to rip it out or convert with controlled weight. And that's Kelvin Kerkow's strength. He always likes to get the shot. And if you've got last bowl and do convert, well, at least you know you're on the scoreboard. 4 good bowls, all just short of the jack.
Far short's my last bowl, please, Bobby.
15 inches.
Oh, I just can't reach that jack.
6 bowls, all short of the jack.
Well, George Sneddon's coming in to have a look. He sees that Bob Mullins favours his bowl. George may not be convinced.
Not a lot of danger here for Sneddon to perhaps play a risky shot. Kelvin's not convinced who shot either. Bob Mullins saying 1 blue lollipop. We might... 2 shots on for Sneddon.
Close, mate.
Kelvin saying it's close.
Have I got it? Might play weight onto his own bowl or turn Kerkow's bowl out. Alternatively, open backhand draw. Well, he's playing the backhand. He's got to be very careful not to be narrow. A touch on the jack, if he could clear Kerkow's bowl, would be the perfect result.
Like this. Oh, brilliant. Well played, George Sneddon.
And that is 3 shots. Close for a shot. Perfect weight and length. And
yeah, it's worth a smile, George. Well played. Yeah.
Well, Kerkow, you must ask yourself in this situation, 3 down, is it worth playing weight? Well, you cannot be much worse off. Only 1. I think we'll see those pack of bowls going in every direction. Kerkow will have a firm grip and plough right up through the pack.
Stand by. Oh, he's let that go a little loose. It was never on line. But he's a powerful driver.
Unbelievable miss.
It's quite a wide head to be aiming at, as you can plainly see. Not exactly a member of the precision driving team with that effort. 3 to Sneddon, and he jumps to the lead. 4-2 after 4 ends. Start of the 6th of 10 ends, so we're halfway through the first set, and bowling with that purple background means they're travelling towards the clubhouse. There's Marshall to his left, our right, David Peacock, and the manager, Bobby Dick.
Just sense tension out on the rink. Kerkow, normally quite chatty. There's no questions, or very few questions being asked of the marker, Bob Mullins. Not too many visits to the head from either player. Kelvin Kerkow is very hard to stop when leading, but at the moment, Sneddon 2 in front.
How far is mine off the jack, please, Bobby?
4 inches.
4-3 it is. You often say, Shuey, it's a lonely game, singles. Not too many people to talk to out there, but equally, it is a good idea to ask the marker a couple of questions just to feel like there's company out there.
That's right, it's crunch time now. Or at least jog up to the head and have a look, and don't allow the tension to build and stay behind the mat, especially if your opponent goes for a walk. Well, now George doing the right thing. He's coming up also to the head. It's part of the tactics necessary. Well, this is a nervous bowl from George. Needed to add weight. Took off 1.5 meters. Kerkow holding 3. And looking pretty confident, Kelvin Kerkow, quite relaxed.
Well, after the third bowl really is a good opportunity in this format to come to the head. There's no time pressure after the first 3 bowls in the singles. Kelvin dropped a 3 in the 4th end. This looks thereabouts. Doesn't crash in too hard. That's good enough for 4.
Not happy. I don't know why. Terrific head. Must look terrible for George when he gets down to the mat and will turn around and look up. He knows he's 4 down.
Well, Kelvin just shot a look at his manager, Robbie Dobbins, who said, "Good shot, mate." No qualms in the Australian camp about holding 4 shots. Could hardly be holding 5. Sneddon aiming to reduce the count here. Has done, perhaps, but only by 1. Looks like 3. And 3 it is. So Kerkow back into the lead. 6-4. Kerkow deciding he'll keep the mat as Glass and Duprez and Dobbins watch on. Kerkow in a solid position, up a couple of shots, 4 ends to play in this first set. So minding you, it's 2 10-end sets, and if they're shared, we go to a 3-end tie-break. First player to win 2 ends. The tie-break takes the match. George Sneddon, who's formed this incredible partnership with Alex Marshall in pairs for Scotland. Commonwealth Games and World Champions. Kerkow. Oh, he's got it on a string now. And he's liking it. Another score in this 7th end for Kerkow would make first set, Shuey, pretty difficult for Sneddon to retrieve.
Yes, George knows that. That's why he's switching to the forehand. He wants the shot now, but all he does promotes Kerkow. Second shot nearer to the jack.
Kelvin wasn't too sure about those gold trousers. He might have preferred the white ones, but gold it is. And if, as you say, Shuey, he's a superstitious character and he wins this match, and we mightn't get them off him.
Yes, when things are not going well for Kelvin, he actually always thinks of the negatives of the situation, not so much the positive, but having said that, he's such a confident player that when he's playing well, he's virtually unbeatable. George needing to arrive, but narrow once again. 2 down and plenty of room for Kerkow to draw a third. Kelvin might decide to keep away from the jack now. He's just a quick glance at the scoreboard. 2 shots in front. Does not want to broaden the target. He's looking at this backhand. No, does not like the backhand. Still yet to decide. I try to beat the bowl at 4 p.m. to the jack, just on the bottom right. Alternatively, beat his own bowl at the back of the rink.
There's always a danger when you're thinking of 2 or 3 options that you actually don't execute any of them.
Doesn't want to really trail the jack too far. Well, that's worked out fairly well. Maybe not counting though. Might see an aggressive shot here from George Sneddon. Both bowls can be removed with a solid strike. So we might see a full-blooded drive. It's not really George's tactic. Movement of the jack to the back of the rink will not help Sneddon.
Final bowl of the 7th end. Kerkow a 2-shot lead and holding 2. And George is wide. Sails through into the ditch, and 2 more to Kerkow. That presents an imposing scoreline for the Australian of 8 shots to 4 now. 3 ends to play. There we go. Lovely trophy on display here. Australia, the first test, 2 games to 1. Won the singles in that first test. They've won the pairs in the second test, Scotland. But the job will be awfully difficult if they don't win this singles. There might just be a bit of mental damage carried into the next triples match, Shuey, after 9-2 and 14-1, 23 shots to 3.
That was an embarrassment, wasn't it, Steve? For the Scottish team. Especially the way Brett Duprez led in the opening triples test. It was a fine performance. Kerkow played well. Glasson superb. Sneddon playing better though.
And that ball sits down for a healthy 2 shots.
Well, Sneddon really does need to win the ends and control the shorter length jack. Kerkow playing magnificent bowls on the long ends. These are the shots that George has been failing on. When he needs to reach, he drops short.
How far short's George's closest bowl, please?
10 inches.
My shot bowl, is it jack high, is it?
The back of the bowl's about the middle of the jack, right?
Kerkow just trying to picture the room available past the short Sneddon bowl. Well, there's quite a receptive little horseshoe there for Sneddon to work into, if he's good enough.
Unfortunately, George cannot play a lot of weight, Steve. He needs to allow time to bend around that short bowl. So his second bowl is the problem bowl. That short bowl, and this looks underneath the line.
He's playing with plenty of weight.
Yes, would not have been able to get the jack at that weight. Might have taken one of Kerkow's bowl out on the right-hand side of the jack, but tactically, Kelvin play the same type of bowl and just plug the gap, draw a resting front toucher, just to secure first set. Don't know whether Steve Glasson will get these bowls back off Kelvin Kerkow. Seems to be handling them very well.
Smooth delivery, just withdrawing his hand fairly dramatically, Kerkow. I think he thought that came out a bit hot, but
just pinched the grass a little bit in the line. That's okay. No damage. Still holding 3. Tough shot for Sneddon. He's been down to the head, George, so he knows the situation, but it's always more difficult when you pick up your bowl to a head like this and most of the bowl's short of the jack. You'll actually stand on the mat and think, oh, looks hard. Look at that from the mat end. Tough to get the perfect line with the correct weight. He has been playing this backhand narrow.
Still arriving with plenty. Hoping for some kind of plant there. It certainly didn't achieve it. Just reduced the count from 3 to 2, but it's a lead that's building, and Kerkow's won the last 4 ends and now 10-4 up. Kerkow, it's looking good for him, isn't it? 6-shot lead, 2 ends to play. Again, he's right on it. George Sneddon on the mat, literally and figuratively, as we sometimes say when a player's trailing. Well, Bob Mullins, we're seeing a bit of a clinic here from Kelvin Kerkow, although that's a better one coming in from George now. Sure if you can hear us, Bob. Are you there?
No, I couldn't hear through the applause then, but
yeah,
I can hear all right now.
Saying Kelvin's put on a bit of a clinic through this first set.
Oh, he's on fire, isn't he? There's nothing wrong with George's bowls. He's bowling excellent bowls. But Kelvin's just putting it all together today. You're
well used to this this rink, Bob, if not particularly. The TV rink is between the normal Tweed Heads rinks, but you think George is just struggling with his line a little?
Yes, he's a little bit of all over the place, but Kelvin's keeping a very good line, even though his weight might vary at times, you know, but generally speaking, he's not far away. Actually, despite the score, it's an excellent game, great game. George is putting everything into it, but Kelvin's just pulling out those good ones all the time.
Yeah, he's enjoying it, I think, Kelvin. Trying to further enhance, I suppose, Bobby, his singles reputation, which is steadily building. Sneddon holding. The player anxious to go and have a look at the head, should we?
No, or even ask a question. Surprising. Kelvin knows the first set is secure, Steve, and well, now they're George and Kelvin are both going for a stroll. There's not much atmosphere in this game. No reason for Kerkow to change his tactics. Winning comfortably, leading 10-4. Still happy. Close, not close enough. Still one down.
Got the hole.
Can't believe his bowl managed to barge through there without effectively changing their head. Crash or crash through. Sneddon needs some kind of special result here to have any chance of staying in the first set. And that's not it. So just the one. They'll play it out, even though Kerkow's out of reach. 10-5 to Kerkow. Been the pattern of the match that George Sneddon, when he has the choice, rolls a much shorter jack than Kelvin Kerkow. Again, we're sort of medium shoey.
They're about 26 metres, Steve, 27. Not really a good start, 1 metre short. Little psychological battle there, Steve, at the end of that previous end. Kerkow was saying to George after he converted from 3 down to 1 up, I nearly played the forehand myself, Kelvin said, and George quickly said, I thought you would have. Meaning left the shot open for me, and that's a good response from Kerkow. Pressure now back on Sneddon.
Oh, great bowl, George.
That is stunning. Looks like a resting back toucher. Could not see the jack from the mat. Perfect weight. Little luck. Superb.
How far apart? How far is that last bowl off the jack, please?
It's touching the kitty.
It's touching.
Yep.
Mine's obviously not.
Well, that's right, because George is holding.
Good sign for Kelvin. He must be feeling pretty relaxed inside. Both players wanting to come up. They've gone way out the outside of the rink, trying to get a view of the head. They're not allowed to visit the head until 3 bowls have been played. Many players actually walk up after their second bowl, and when they get near the head, the marker says you're not allowed to come to the head, and they say, oops, sorry, but they're already there having a quick glance. George, almost impossible to draw a second.
For all the score in the second set, but George Sneddon's holding a pretty good one.
This backhand side turns more quickly, so there is more of the shot bowl available on the backhand side. See how that bowl's turning sharply now. Don't get that. You don't get the same amount of turn. The jack is actually just in this area here, resting on the blue disc bowl. So Kerkow electing to come in, trying to turn the shot bowl out. George Sneddon will be staying on his forehand. Well, there's the jack resting right on Sneddon's bowl. This might be a good head for Kelvin just to go 1 down. He will certainly play his 4th bowl, but
it's probably a deliberate bowl from George out there. Sure, he got no way to conjure a second, and protecting what he has. The jack might come that way if Kerkow comes in on his backhand again.
Always wants the shot, Kelvin. Remembering the jack is in this area, so he'll play a little bit of weight, looking to push his own bowl and squirting the jack out, make this bowl the shot. About 1 metre of contact onto his own bowl. If he somehow could miss the short bowl, he could clip the shot bowl clean out. Only needs to turn it 1 roll.
He's going to find the gap, I think. Indeed. So that'll be 1 to Sneddon. And George is back in the lead in the second set, which has got a very interesting script to this point. Sneddon, 5-4. That's how the shots have been scored. George a double in the first end. 3 shots for Kelvin in the fourth.
Very important stage of the match for Kerkow, and Bobby Dick, the Scottish manager, he knows that if his man, George Sneddon, could win the next 2 ends, he'd almost be home into the tiebreaker. Kerkow only needs to tie the second set to win the match, force the second test into the deciding triples. As you can see there, like George Sneddon, he's been around that 55% area the whole match. Kelvin's bowling consistently well, but he's not scoring because there's 1 bowl each end. George Sneddon, a little grin.
And that was it for this end.
Yeah, it's so hard to actually get the bowl off. See where Kerkow would be trying to spring the jack. Delicate contact on the shot bowl. And now Kerkow finding the gaps, drops the head. George would be grinning at that.
Bob, how far's Kelvin's first ball behind the jack?
Kelvin's ball?
His first ball.
About 13 inches. Behind the jack, Kelvin's first ball.
Kelvin's first ball, how far is it behind the jack?
13 inches.
We're down to 12 seconds, so George will have to hurry. Be very wise to switch to the forehand. Trying to draw to Kerkow's nearest bowl on the line below the jack. And looking pretty good. Just heavy. Needed to be wide of the line. See that angle of the shot bowl and the jack. Kerkow will persist on the backhand. Any contact on the shot bowl, the jack will spring to the bottom left of screen. Narrow again. Might end up 2 down. Whoops.
Oh, that's one way to spring the jack, although not quite far enough.
Not too sure, Steve.
It's still Scotland holding, according to Bobby Mullins.
Be careful, Kelvin. He only has 1 bowl in 4. George will no doubt switch back to his favourite backhand. It's safer on the backhand. No, he's deciding he'll risk playing the forehand. Well, that also beats 2 of Kerkow's bowls.
Good enough for 2.
Well,
Bobby Mullins is having a look.
It's a crucial shot. Now there's 2 blue lollipops. Big problem here for Kerkow. If he's going to play weight, he really should be playing in this direction. If he plays forehand and feathers this bowl clean out of the head, it could be 3 or 4 down. Normally he would just drive flat out for the jack, but there's only 1 Australian bowl near the jack. Always dangerous if you play weight. Doesn't worry, Kelvin. Think positive and let it rip.
No good. So the count, what is it? It'll be Sneddon increasing his lead by 2. And the tie-break is looming with a 3-shot lead to Scotland now in the second set. Sneddon, can he keep this going?
A little surprised here, Steve. He's actually rolled a long end. It's only 1.5 meters short of maximum length, so we're playing to just over 31 metres. He's been playing really well on the medium to 3/4 length jacks. Rolls the jack long and 2 metres overweight. I just think that's perhaps a lapse in concentration. The jacks, the indoor jacks, are made of steel. They're almost twice, or a bit more than twice the weight of a normal outdoor jack. You don't need to give them much effort. Kerkow loves the long ends.
Well, he needs to pounce here if there has been a mistake from George. Mind you, as he's shown us throughout the match, he only needs 1 good bowl per end.
It was definitely a tactical mistake. Kerkow playing so well in the long jacks. Oh, good correction.
As a soccer player once famously said, Shuey, our consistency's been all over the place.
Sometimes the top players, they actually vary enormously the length just for that reason, Steve, just so the opposition cannot develop any consistency.
That's Kelvin's last ball shot, Bob.
Which pile, George?
Kelvin's last one.
12 inches from the front of the bowl to the jack, Mark.
No change, still just 1 for Kerkow, who trails by 3. This is the 8th end of 10 in the second set. He needs to be next to score, and preferably more than 1.
Well, he's on his favourite length, Steve, and holding good position. Needs to just rest on. That should be 2 shots. So that slip up in rolling the jack may cost George Sneddon dearly.
Closest Sneddon bowls on its running surface. If Kelvin could sit that out.
He's got to be careful here, Steve. If he tries to play weight, say looking for the jack, if he actually moves this bowl at all, he'll drop a full count. So he really should be just sticking to his backhand draw. If he fails, Kerkow will attack the Scottish nearest bowl, looking for a full count. Well, Sneddon's playing forehand. That means weight. He's playing towards his own bowl. Would not want to be narrow.
He's not narrow. He's got something here. Oh, he's taken out.
He's got most. Good luck. It's good luck, George.
You think he's holding now, isn't he?
He sprung the jack up the ring. It's 2 down. Heaps of danger. The general rule of thumb, if you're going to play weight and you've only got 1, play away from your bowl, not toward it. Springs the jack up the ring. He's holding shot. Looks easy for Kerkow, but...
Well, 30 seconds ago, Kelvin was thinking, gee, I might get 4 out of this. Now, he's got to convert.
Oh, doesn't like it. He's wide. Looks heavy.
Oh. And looks like 1 to Sneddon. Yep, it's 1 to Sneddon, and he further increases his lead and increases the likelihood of a tie-break. It's 8-4. There's a trace of a smile there from Bobby Dick. He's delighted with the turnaround in fortunes for George Sneddon here. Soundly rounded up and thrashed in the first set, but
Alex Marshall and David Peacock, Steve, they deserted him after the first set. They went for a walk. If they're not back, they'll come back at the shock of their lives. Might be into the tiebreaker. Back to his favourite medium to 3/4 length, Jack.
Well, George will be thinking that previous end he got away with one because it was most likely a mistake out of the hand with the jack. And
yeah, one bad drive, Steve. He was in danger of dropping a full count of 4, which would have put Kerkow in front. Now Kerkow's trailing by 4 with just 2 to play.
George is on fire.
He's actually drawn the #1 shot around his short first bowl. Kerkow will drive. There's no doubt that Kerkow has to win this end. So at the moment, well, no, conservative, playing controlled weight. Will swing narrow. Oh, lucky spring of the jack.
Well, he's taken those 2 good Sneddon bowls out of the equation for the moment. Releasing the jack. He's holding, but it's wide open again. That means Sneddon's got to explore uncharted territory out here on the forehand side.
Realistically, Kerkow needs 2 shots on this end. 1, I feel, will not be enough. Oh, that's a shaky short bowl. Not the shot bowl.
Hard to get your line just right, Shuey, with the jack 1.5 metres off the centre line.
Yeah, you're a bit scared to get out too wide too, Steve. Well, Kerkow, a long way short, but counting. That's 2 shots. And wisely, George Sneddon, he's going for a walk up to the ring. Well, Bob Mullen says it's only 1. Bowls are a long way away from the jack.
So Sneddon leads by 4 shots. We're in the 9th of 10 ends in the second set, so he's in prime position. George's teammates, David and Alex, have just come back in. What? Hang on a minute.
There's a buzz around the club, and they've come in to cheer George on, say yes.
This looks all right.
Normally, Sneddon would draw this shot easily, but given the pressure, must clear the short Kerkow bowl.
He's taken a wider line this time. How's his weight? Much better. Well played, George. I like this singles game, he says.
Kelvin will run for the bowl, control weight through the gap. And Kelvin will play backhand, trying to turn that bowl off the rink or maybe trail the jack right through. The problem is if he gets the jack, his bowl may finish off the rink. So backhand, looking for the shot bowl.
He's played it narrow. Could need
Punch
some
the
luck
short
off
bowl.
his own. Oh, no. And that is the second set. Only needed the 1 to shut the door on Kerkow in this second set. And a 9-4 lead is makes it uncatchable. And there we go, into the tiebreak. Not too much to lose, which is a good way to go into a tiebreak. Sneddon certainly the underdog coming into this match, but has played brilliant bowls to level it at a set all. And it's a bit of a lottery now. Well, better odds than your average lottery, because only 2 people can win.
He's got a 50% chance, Steve. And not a good opening bowl, unfortunately. Oh, the supporters of George Sneddon. Kerkow peppers the jack 30 centimetres beyond. Aussies hoping that this test will not go to the deciding triples match.
Tell you what, George Sneddon comes to this tiebreak having won the 5 previous ends and 7 of the 9 ends played in the second set. He's running hot.
Well, that was a good miss. He made contact with the jack. It would have finished right on top of Kerkow's bowl. And the winning bowl, I would suggest, has not yet been played on this end. Shots don't count.
Nor does the shot clock. No shot clock in the tie break.
Look at the tension. Almost look like twin brothers.
They do, don't they? Yeah, yeah.
David Peacock, Alex Marshall. Well, George Sneddon just needs one good bowl. And he's struggling for weight. Turns his back.
5 shorts my last bowl, please, Bobby.
18 inches.
Sneddon really should have gone for a walk up the head to have a look.
It's quick, says Kelvin.
But the worst thing you can say, Steve, quick and then draw a toucher.
Like this? Almost.
Well, he must be in fine touch, Kerkow. I don't think he thought he was a lot quicker than that.
He's holding 2, but it doesn't matter how many shots, as long as you win the end.
Well, tactically, Sneddon should give away the forehand, Steve. He's had 3 attempts, been nowhere near it. I think we might see George switch with just one bowl, try to draw the shot or rest on that bowl there, the shot bowl. But no, he thinks he can draw inside 30 centimetres of the jack on the forehand. Very low percentage.
And that won't do it. And no need to play his last. Without even signalling as much, George Sneddon picks up Kelvin's last bowl. He knows the drill. And Kerkow, the first end of the tiebreak. Now, what does he do?
He might give the mat away here, Steve. Have the last bowl.
Well, that's the first victory for Kerkow in half a dozen ends. Crucial time to do it too.
George Sneddon, he failed to get one bowl inside a metre of the jack.
Start of the second end of the tiebreak. Second test singles. So it's nice and close. And the jack's been rolled by Kerkow. There you see, a centimetre or so short of the tee. So Kerkow had the choice under this new rule. Would he keep the mat or opt for last bowl? He went for the former.
And it appears to have worked, Steve. 30 centimetres short of the jack. Hard for George to beat that bowl. It's a good opening bowl. It falls over. Oh, not quite.
5 shorts mine, please.
6 inches.
Last bowl pass, Jack Eye.
Yeah, bowl pass.
Kelvin probably wasn't enjoying that length opted for by Sneddon, Shuey.
Well, he didn't have to do much on the previous end. George, for just the pressure of the situation. Kelvin's got to be careful not to open the head up. Doesn't want to move the jack or the shot bowl. Oh, gee. It's almost good enough, I would suggest, the bowl above the jack to win the match. You're holding game. Your opponent after the previous end, must be fairly concerned. Seems to have plenty of weight on this, George Sneddon.
Oh, if it falls in, he might have got a result. It's close.
Still one to Kerkow. Oh, Bob
It's
Mullins.
real close, Kelvin.
Wow.
Can I have a look, or?
Well, you should be able to under the rules. The rules do not allow it, but Kelvin's been to the World Championships many times, and if it's close in a tiebreaker, you ask permission of the markers, and the markers are instructed by world officials not to deny the players an opportunity when the match is so close.
And
Maybe you, but it's too close for me to call it this stage.
I made a choice.
And it's good to see both players down there having a look. Now out comes the fingers. Doesn't drop the cane. He's got it hooked over his neck.
It's close. Well, big sigh, Kerkow. Might be too close for him to decide.
Positive news for Kelvin is that at least he's won the first end of the tiebreak.
Positive news for Sneddon, Steve. He'll have last bowl. Kelvin really should stay on the backhand. He's only got to touch that bowl, it will be shot, but he's probably feeling if he's overweight on this side, he could turn that bowl over and be holding 2 shots. That was Kerkow. Deep breath. Forehand. It's always a risk of just feathering the opposition bowl, and it actually could fall in, but Kerkow looking good.
Swallow the jack. Oh, give the shot away.
That's trailed the jack straight to Sneddon's back bowl. Unlucky Kerkow. Always was potentially more danger on the forehand side.
Sneddon has 2 to play. Kerkow 1.
Best result now for Sneddon to draw a toucher. He's got to be very careful here, Steve, not to play too much weight. Turn his shot bowl down. It's on the running surface, which means you do not need much contact to remove the shot bowl. Kerkow will be attacking. Well, that's a very nervous attempt. That's not even blocking Kerkow, so Kelvin will be attacking with weight for the shot bowl or the jack. It's just a question how much weight Kelvin decides to play. Does he go dead straight and flat out, or give the bowl an opportunity to bend? It may be better for the jack. If he drives flat out, the actual jack could come up the rink.
Then it's anybody's guess. Kerkow. Last ball for him.
Looking good.
Come on, hold. Come on!
A great ball from Kerkow. The most animated we've seen him in the match so far. Now, it's a match live for Kerkow. Well, he gave the shot away, only right, I suppose, that he should get it back. Now, this is to George Sneddon. Let's see what you can do.
You've got to play the same type of shot, Steve. Trouble is, he's 2 down. He wants the jack straight through. This is his bowl, but if he trails the jack into the ditch, his toucher will remain alive. Backhand, plenty of weight. Bowl or jack. Looking narrow. He'll need luck.
Might get it off his own. No, that's the match to Kerkow. Takes the first 2 ends of the tiebreak. Good enough. And what an enjoyable singles match it was. So 11-5 the first set to Kerkow. 9-4 the second.
to Sneddon, and then 2 ends of the tiebreak to Kerkow. So it's a match apiece in the second test.
Kelvin, congratulations. You've kept the test alive for Australia.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It was good to get away with the win. It was a hard game. I got the better of George in the first set, I thought, and played quite well. But George fought back to his credit in the second set and got me and come down to a tiebreaker. So yeah.
What was the difference in that second set? You just couldn't get the mat and you couldn't get the ends the length that you wanted.
Yeah, you know, George got the mat and he threw a few short ones, you know, and, you know, we haven't played a lot of short ends in this match, so, you know, he got the better of me there, but I thought I was hanging in there. It was just a matter of, you know, keep going and plug away.
One of those tight matches that it did seem to sway from one side to the other. You really had to keep your nerve. How did you keep it?
Yeah, well, I just had to try and be relaxed, you know. It was one of those games, once it gets down to a tie-break, you know, anything can happen, so I'm just happy to get the win.
Well done, Kelvin, and good luck for the triples.
Thank you. Cheers.
Our next program will feature the third and final game of the second test, the triples, Duprez, Kerkow and Glasson against Sneddon, Peacock and Marshall. For the moment, it's goodbye from Tweed Heads.
The eucalypt, or gum tree, belongs especially to Australia.
Eucalypts vary from low-lying ground covers to the tallest flowering plants in the world. Over the years, they've meant different things to different creatures. Our amazing eucalypts. From the Heart, 8 o'clock Tuesday.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Because the classic comedy of Mother and Son is now available for the first time on DVD.
Can I come out now? This toast is on the blink. I was making cheese on toast, now the cheese won't come out.
Relive this landmark comedy series.
Mom! You didn't put this on the gas again, did you? Wind!
Mother and Son, now on DVD from ABC Shops, ABC Centres, DVD retailers and online.
I never saw a couple more in love.
Is Louis Trevelyan one of literature's more aggrieved characters?
My marriage would be a bed of roses were it not for Colonel Frederick Osborne.
Sunday, Oliver Dimmesdale, Laura Fraser and Bill Nye bring Anthony Trollope's tale of romance, broken hearts and scandal alive.
You know I'd never do anything to wrong you.
Then give me your...